belong to the line.
So we have to choose 2 points belong to the line, right? Then we want to make the equation which represent this set of data. The general form is y equal mx plus b. And then, as I said, we will choose 2 points belong to this line. If there anyone can tell me what are the coordinates for the 2 points? What are the coordinates for the 2 points, which we have it here? 2 points, which we can work with. 1 and what?
1 and 20.
1 and 20.
5 and 30. 1 and 40.
5 and 40.
40.
Yes, okay. So let's watch together.
Only two. So that's represent, if you connect the two, or draw a line to the two points, would kind of represent the best fitting line, all right, to you. Now, your line might be a little bit different than mine, but they're going to be fairly close. So let's suppose I pick this point and this point right here. Okay, so here, this would be 120, like x, y, right? Or we don't have x, we have age. We don't have y, we have height. So this would be like 120. I would use that point. And I would use maybe this point right here, 5, and let's call that 40. 5, 40. I've used these 2 points.
Anyone can remind me how we can calculate the slope? How we can calculate m? What is the formula?
y2 minus y1 equal x2 minus x1.
Thank you. The y variation or y change over x change, like you said, Yakinzi, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then we are going to calculate the slope. If there anyone can tell me what is the y-intercept in this set of data? What is the y-intercept here? We can find it from the graph directly. We can determine the y-intercept in this set of data directly. This line passing through
0.
Right? Passing through 0. Then the y-intercept, it will be
0.
0. Yes. Okay. So we don't need to take a one point and then we will back to replace. We have to calculate the slope and then the y-intercept is 0 because it's very clear here in the graph. So don't waste your time to substitute the value of x and y to find the y-intercept. Okay. Then we can find the y-intercept from the graph directly. Okay. And then we will write the equation. Let's continue.
To come up with a slope, all right? And then I'm going to go through all the steps to find the equation of a line, okay? And for those of you who know how to do that, this should make some sense. Listen, I don't want to fry your brain here and just do a big overloading of information, but I'm just generally speaking, depending on where you're at in your math studies, things that you're going to ask or tasks you're going to be asked about scatter plots and best fitting line. Now, let me talk about one last thing. There's something called correlation. Okay, correlation, or you might say, what kind of correlation does a scatter plot have? If you have, like, your data is like this, actually, your data is like plotting this way, what's going on is your data is kind of forming a line that has a positive slope. Remember, the lines that go from left to right, that increase from left to right, are lines that have a positive slope. So this kind of representation here would represent a positive correlation, okay? Likewise, if you had something that kind of like you plotted the trend this way, that would have a negative correlation. So this word correlation is used a lot when we're talking about scatter plots. Now, what if you plotted something that looked like this? Okay, oh boy, we do it this way. Maybe it looked like, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm kind of rushing. What if you did something, you're saying, okay, what's the trend here?
You can find a trend here in this set of data.
I have no idea.
We can find a trend here. We can?
No.
No. Why?
Because
Because it has no relationship.
Because there is no relationship. Yes, there is no correlation. We can't find all the set of data, even if it's weak or strong, point to upward or point to downward, but it's random points. Then there is no correlation. For this reason, we can't draw the line of best fit with this set of data. Okay?
It looks like one of those tests that psychologists show people and say, "What do you see here?" Well, I see this. You have no idea what's going on. This is called no correlation. Okay, so you have positive correlation, you have negative correlation, and then you have no correlation. All right. So if you need more help with scatter plots and the like, tabletclass.com. And by
So we will use the 2 points to calculate the slope. As you told me, to calculate the slope, it will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We choose the 2 points, so we can say that this one is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. Then, who will help me to calculate? It will be, what is the first number which I'm going to start with? It will be
40 minus 20
yes, 40 minus 20
over 5 minus 1.
Thank you. Then it will be 40 minus 20 over 5 minus 1. So the answer, it will be 20 over how many?
4.
20 over 4. So the slope equal
5 over 1. 5 over 1.
equal 5. 5 over 1 means 5, right? So the equation, as I said, the y-intercept in this equation now, it will be how many? Did you see? It's passing through 0, right? So the y-intercept, it will be 0. Then the answer, it will be, or the equation, y equal 5x and b equal 0. So I will not write b again. What about if you don't notice that the line passing through the 0? Then you can choose a point here and we will replace it in this line, like 1 and 20. So I'm going to remove y and put, I'm going to remove y and put instead of it 1, and then I will substitute the value of x, but it's better because here in this one, the line of best fit, it's passing through 2 or 3 points, is not exactly the same. So we will take it from the figure here, right? Yes, Yanan.
Miss Fufi is in the waiting room.
Who?
Fufi, Fadia.
Fufi? So we want to solve a question in our book page 445. Okay, who will start to read the question and then tell me the answer for the first question? Huh? How we will find the answer? Who's raising his hand? Okay, Nano, go on.
An auto store is having a sale on motor oil. The chart shows the price per quart as the number of quarts purchased increases.
Yes.
Use the data for examples 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Describe the association you see between the number of quarts precious and the price per quart. So tell us, it will be what? Describe the association. And we said the association means the relationship, right? Yes. So describe the
negative association.
Yes, negative association. It will be negative. It's a linear or non-linear?
Non-linear.
Non-linear, thank you. Why did you say that this one is negative?
As the number of quartz increase, the
Yes,
price
yes.
decrease.
Thank you so much. Yes, Yanan, very good. Then it's negative correlation, but non-linear, as in the number of quartz rises or increase, the price per quartz decrease. But the data appear to lie along a curve, right? So the data which we have it in front of us, it seems like we have a curve. Let's move to question number 2. We want to draw a trend line. As you know, the trend line, it could be vary from student to student, but it will be almost the same. It's not exactly the same because we will try to find a line. It will pass through the most of the line and keep a number above and down approximately the same. Okay, then in this one, you will try to draw a trend line by your way, and then you will tell me the answer. Also, he is looking for an equation for the trend line. In my answer, I connected between points 10 and 8, about 10 and 8. I will send the answer now to discuss it or for everyone can see it. So to draw the line of best fit, as I said, you would try to draw a line approximately, keep a point above and under are the same. So we can see that we have dots down and up and for the other side. So this is the trend line. I want to write the formula or to write, sorry, the equation. So as I said, we will choose 2 points and then from the 2 points, we will calculate the slope and then we will write the y-intercept. After that, we can predict. You can take your decision from the graph. Use your equation to predict the wind chill to the nearest degree for a wind speed of 60 minutes per hour. So we will back and we will substitute the value of x by 60. Then you will find the answer. It will be equal -8 Fahrenheit. How can you use a scatter plot to solve a real world problem? You can plot data points and draw trend line to make prediction. Okay? Any question till now? You will find a set of data or a group of data close to each other. So we can say that this one is called what? Is called cluster.
Cluster.
Okay, cluster. And we can find also around 80 here. Did you see? Did you see?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so there are clusters here in 2 regions, around 50 minutes, right? And around 80-minute interval. Meaning above 80 minutes here, we can see cluster and we above 50 minutes. Okay, and in this one, what do the culture tell you about the eruption, sorry, of the old firewall? This one, the culture, it will tell us what? There are short wait time followed by short European and longer wait times followed by longer European. Because this one represents the interval and this one represents the duration. Okay, then in this one we have culture in a cluster in 2 regions, and also we have outlier. What the meaning of outlier? What the meaning of outlier, grade 8? Outliers means what? Outlier?
The point which is far from the...
Yes, the point which is far from the set of data. Is there any outlier in this set of data in front of us now? We can find any outlier? Did you see? Here we have a group, right?
No.
And here we have a group. Did you see the point at the middle?
Yes. Oh,
You see this
that was
point? It's not
Mhm.
connected between the rest of the data. So this
Yes.
point is which is near from 57 and 3 appear to be an outlier. because it doesn't fall into either culture. Understood? So this is the difference between culture and outlier. Again,